back to the channel, guys. I hope everyone is doing well today. So with the basic landmark detail view setup in the last video, we need now to provide a way for users to see the full list of landmarks and to view the details about each location. Okay, so we'll create views that can show information about any landmark and dynamically generate a scrolling list that a user can tap to see a detailed view for a landmark. Okay, to fine-tune the UI, we'll use Xcode's canvas to render multiple previews at different device sizes. So download the project files to begin building this project. I put the link below this tutorial and follow the steps below. So as said before, in the first tutorial we hard coded information into all of our custom views. Here we learn to pass data into our custom views for display. Okay, so in the project navigator, you're going to choose models, then landmark.swift. Okay, landmark.swift declares a landmark structure that stores all of the landmark information the app needs to display and imports an array of landmark data from landmarks data.json. Okay, here. So we'll use this sample data throughout the remainder of this tutorial and for all that follow. Also note that the content view type from creating and combining views tutorial is now named landmark detail.swift. So we'll create several more view types in this and each of the following tutorial. So the first view we'll build in this tutorial is a row for displaying details about each landmark. This row view stores information in a property for the landmark it displays, so that one view can display any landmark. Okay. Later, we'll combine multiple rows into a list of landmarks. So first of all, we're going to create a new SwiftUI view. Landmark row.swift. Okay, cool. If the preview isn't visible already, show the canvas by selecting this button, editor, and click on canvas, just like that. Then press resume. Okay, and here, as you can see, we have our preview. So the first things to do here is to add a landmark as a stored property of landmark.row. Okay, so here landmark to be type of landmark. Okay, cool. Then to fix the preview, we'll need to modify the preview provider. Okay, here add the landmark parameter to the landmark row initializer, and then by specifying the first element of the landmarks data array. Okay, so here landmarks data, the first element is 0. Okay, with that fixed, we can build the layout for the row now. So embed the existing text view in an edge stack. Okay, so here, just like that. Okay, then modify the text view to use the landmark properties name. So here landmark dot name. Okay, cool. Complete the row by adding an image before the text view. So here landmark dot image, because it's already an image object. Okay, with some properties The first one is resizable and the second one is frame. To give it a frame of 50 by 50, and the last parameter you can delete it. Okay, we can now press on resume, and as you can see we have our row. Cool. So Xcode's canvas automatically recognizes and displays any type in the current editor that conforms to the preview provider protocol. A preview provider returns one or more views with options to configure the size and device. So we can customize the returned content from a preview provider to render exactly the previews that are most helpful to us. Okay, so in landmark row previews, update the landmark parameter to be the second element in the landmark data array. So the second parameter is 1. Okay, the preview immediately changes to show the second sample landmark instead of the first. So use the preview layout modifier to set a size that approximates a row in a list. Okay, so here you can write fixed, and here 300 by 70. So then we can use a group to return multiple previews from a preview provider. Okay, wrap the return row in a group just like that. Okay, and add the first row back again. So copy paste these lines. Okay, and here we can just change it to be 0. So group is a container for grouping view content. Xcode renders the group's child views as separate previews in the canvas. Okay, to simplify the code, move the preview layout call to the outside of the group's child declaration. Okay, just like that. Okay, cool. The code you write in preview provider only changes what Xcode displays in the canvas. Okay, so when you use SwiftUI's list type, you can display a platform specific list of views. The elements of the list can be static, like the child views of the stacks we've created so far, or dynamically generated. We can even mix static and dynamically generated views. So we're going to create a new SwiftUI view here. New file, and name it landmark list. Okay, .swift landmark list .swift. Okay, so replace the default text here. View with the list. Okay, list. And provide landmark row instances with the first 2 landmarks as the list children. Okay, so landmark row. Okay, landmark data and landmark row just like that. Okay, so the preview shows the 2 landmarks rendered in a list style that's appropriate for iOS. So instead of specifying a list elements individually, we can generate rows directly from a collection. We can create a list that displays the elements of collection by pathing our collection of data and a closure that provides a view for each element in the collection. The list transforms each element in the collection into a child view by using the supplied closure. Okay, so remove the 2 static landmark rows and instead paste landmark data to the list initializer. Okay, so here you are going to write I think it's maybe this one. We're going to try. Okay, so data is landmark data. Okay, ID will be dot ID, just like that, and you can delete all this part. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then write landmark in. Okay, then complete the dynamically generated list by returning a landmark row from the closure. Okay, here landmark row, and simply write landmark. Cool. Resume. So this creates one landmark row for each element in the landmark data array. Okay, next we'll simplify the list code by adding identifiable conformance to the landmark type. Okay, so switch to landmark.swift. Okay, and declare conformance to the identifiable protocol. So here identifiable, just like that. Okay, so switch back to landmark list.swift and remove the ID parameter. Okay, here it's not necessary anymore. From now on, we'll be able to use collections of landmark elements directly. The list renders properly, but we can't tap an individual landmark to see that landmark's detail page yet. We add navigation capabilities to a list by embedding it in a navigation view and then nesting each row in a navigation link to set up a transition to a destination view. Okay, so embed the dynamically generated list of landmarks in a navigation view. So here navigation view. Okay, and then simply cut and paste it just like that. Okay, call the navigation bar title modifier method to set the title of the navigation bar when displaying the list. Navigation bar title to be type of text. Okay, landmarks Paris, just like that. Okay, cool. Inside the list's closure, wrap the return row in a navigation link specifying the landmark detail view as the destination. Okay, so here navigation link with a destination that will be landmark detail. Okay, and then simply copy paste that. Okay, we can try out the navigation directly in the preview by switching to live mode. Click the live preview button and tap landmark to visit the detail page. Okay, the landmark detail view still uses hard-coded details to show its landmark. Just like landmark row, the landmark detail type and the views it comprises need to use a landmark property as the source for their data. Starting with the child views, we'll convert circ image and map view and then landmark detail to display data that passed in rather than hard coding each row. So in circle image dot swift, add a stored image property to circle image. Okay, so here for dot image to be type of image, just like that. Okay, so update the preview provider to pass the image of the Arc de Triomphe. Okay, so here Arc de Triomphe. Okay, in map view.swift, add a coordinate property to map view and convert the code to use that property instead of hard coding the latitude and longitude. CLL location. Okay, coordinate do 2D. Okay, and here you can type landmark data 0 dot location coordinate. Okay, in landmark detail.swift, here add a landmark property to the landmark detail type. Okay, just like that, to be type of landmark. Okay, so update the preview to use the first landmark from landmark data. Landmark data. Okay, then pass the required data down to our custom types. So here landmark dot location coordinate. Okay, landmark dot image. Okay, and finally call the navigation bar title display mode modifier to give the navigation bar a title when showing the detail view. So here navigation bar title to be type of text. Okay, so here we're going to write landmark dot name, and here display mode. Okay, cool. Then in scene delegate dot swift, switch the root view here of the app to be landmark list. Okay. And here the text will be landmark dot name. Okay, here it will be landmark dot address. Okay, and here it will be landmark dot city normally. Okay, cool. I think we have good to go. So if I go back to landmark.list and press on resume, okay, now it's still not working. What's going on? Okay, so here I have changed everything. I don't understand. Sorry guys, I had to restart my Xcode because actually I had a bug. I don't know, the preview wasn't working correctly, so right now I'm going to launch it again. Okay, normally we should have I'm going to live the preview, and normally no, it's not working. It's still not working. I don't understand why today I had this problem issue. What's going on, man? What's going on? To continue our tutorial, and we'll see at the end if we need to do something. Okay, so sorry for the inconvenience, but we'll see that at the end. So next we'll add code to the landmark list previews. Okay, here to render previews of the list view at different device sizes. By default, previews render at the size of the device in the active scheme. So we can change the preview device by calling the preview device modifier method. Okay, so start by changing the current list preview to render at the size of an iPhone SE. Okay, so preview device, we can provide the name of any device as it appears in Xcode's scheme menu. Okay, so here preview device with the raw value of iPhone SE, just like that. Okay, so within the list preview, embed the landmark list in for each instance using an array of device names as the data. Okay, for each one, okay, it will be an array, okay, with some names of devices. So the first one is iPhone SE, and the second one is iPhone XS Max, just like that. Okay, with ID self. Okay, and then press enter. Here we can write device name, okay, and here copy paste that, cut paste that. Just like that. Okay, okay, and here the new value will be device name, just like that. Okay, preview display name, device name. Okay, I'm going to change the name correctly. Okay, but we haven't finished yet because we have one still issue to check. So if I press the live preview, we need to have, okay, so it's okay, it takes the right name but not the right picture. Okay, actually I'm crazy, I forgot to change it here. Landmark dot image. Okay, and probably here too. Circle image. Actually, I just have to write image here. Okay, fine. It's okay, don't worry. And I think we had the same problem here. Okay. So here I think we just have to replace it by, and now we are good to go. Okay, see if I press resume for the last time. Okay. Okay, so here if I press on Musée du Louvre, as you can see, everything is displayed correctly. Okay, so I think it's a good thing that we had some issues together today, because it shows you that we have to be careful and you have to check everything correctly. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson today, and I see you in the next lesson. Take care, bye bye.